Meanwhile, United People's Freedom Alliance parliamentarian Sajin Wasgunawardena joined the debate yesterday on the US-sponsored resolution on Sri Lanka, which was adopted by the UNHRC, and this is what he had to say.
Garu Suresh Premachandran Mantrituma adu swarupayat wenas kalla.
Parliamentarian Suresh Premachandra has changed the way he looks. He has worn a western suit and he has changed his look completely. I think he is trying to go to America.
Yanna thamai ada soodanam wanne. Man dakka. Wait, I have either not you sir. I respect you. Kawuda me LLRC vartawa pat kare?
Who appointed the LLRC? It was our government under the leadership of President Mahinda Rajapaksa. It was appointed due to the need of such a commission. We understood its need. That is why we appointed such a commission. That is why we presented it before the parliament.
The National Freedom Front says that the government should present the policies it has formulated to the people in order to face the post-US resolution situation. The NFF made this statement during a media briefing this morning.
We said this before as well, that the UN General Secretary will do something against this country. We are now in troubled waters as this warning was disregarded. Thereby we urge the government to tell the people as to what will happen now. The government should explain its stance, ideas and what will happen. We see this as the responsibility of the government. We saw in the media that Professor G.L. Peiris is ready to go to the US for discussions on this. The people should be told before he goes to the US that if, after discussions, the US makes an agenda and says to work according to that agenda, if the government is going to do so. They should inform the people that they are going for discussions and declare their stance as various views could be expressed at this discussion. The country should come first and foremost, and the people should be told as to what is happening. The other matter is the government should reveal its social, economic and political plan post-resolution.
UNP parliamentarian Karu Jayasuriya says that political prisoners cannot be imprisoned forever.
Karu Jayasuriya spoke to the media after visiting former Army Commander Sarath Fonseca at the Valikada prison today.
Sinhala ha Hindu aluth awurudda labana satiye ආරම්භ වෙනවා.
The Sinhala and Hindu New Year will be celebrated next week. It is the time where people unite, leaving aside their old grudges. Today I leave these premises with much sadness. We thought that at least during this New Year he will receive some relief. If Sarath Fonseca was not imprisoned, he could have raised his voice on behalf of us when various countries level criticism. These political prisoners cannot be kept behind bars forever. The truth will come out one day.
යම් දවසක යථාර්ථය යම් දවසක සත්‍ය එළියට එනවා.
President's Counsel Srinath Pereira, who headed the committee which produced the report on the alleged attack on the UNP headquarters Sirikota, convened a media briefing today. The media briefing was held at the opposition leader's office in Colombo.
The report on the alleged attack on the UNP headquarters Sirikota was handed over to the party General Secretary by President's Counsel Srinath Pereira on the 26th of March. Attorney-at-Law Maitri Gunaratne revealed to the media yesterday that he had voluntarily testified before the Srinath Pereira committee with photographs of a group that had attacked from within Sirikota. However, Maitri Gunaratne noted that none of this had been included in the committee's report and issued an open challenge to President's Counsel Srinath Pereira to reveal information on his testimony. Journalists questioned committee head President's Counsel Srinath Pereira at the media briefing convened today on why the report did not contain any information on the persons who had attacked from within Sirikota. It is stated in your report that there were no persons who attacked from within Sirikota and that these were policemen and MSD officers who acted for their own safety by removing the fence around the poles. However, Maitri Gunaratne said to the media yesterday that he had come before the committee voluntarily without invitation and had testified, producing photographic evidence that persons had attacked from within. He also took the Buddha statue which faces the party headquarters as an example and said that it could only have been damaged from within. But this report does not contain any of this testimony. Over 30 persons testified before us. We did not include individual testimonies. We took it as a whole.
සමස්තයක් හැටියට සියලු පොඩකින් ඔබතුමාට කතා කරන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ ඔබතුමා ඉදිරිපත් කරපු සියලු සාක්ෂියන්ගයන් සලකා බලලා සමස්තයක් හැටියට
Give me some time. You are not letting me answer. We considered all testimonies and made recommendations on what we verified. It is true that when a group broke in, poles were taken off the fence and used in self-defense. It's not true. I apologize. I am not arriving at conclusions. Testimony to that effect was presented. Gunaratne is also saying that there was a group holding poles. This could be true. We have not stated anywhere that persons who were inside were unarmed from beginning to end.
ඇතුළේ හිටපු අය ආරම්භයේ සිට අවසානය දක්වා අතේ කිසි දෙයක් නැතුව හිටියයි කියලා කොහෙවත් කියලා නැහැ.
The report given by Mr. Srinath Parra, the President's Council, has not considered the evidence placed by us. We were giving evidence there on a voluntary basis, and our evidence has not been taken into consideration. So it is very clear with what Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe said during the campaign to collect money for Sirikota, that these people have damaged Sirikota and various things. Those are the very words and very things which have been stated in the report. So the only assumption that one can come to is that Mr. Srinath Parra, President's Council, has given this report so that he will be considered in being appointed as a nationalist MP in the next election, if there is one, and if Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe is the leader of the party.
The laying of the foundation stone for the pagoda of the newly constructed Vimala Jnana Vihara in Homagama took place this morning.
The Vimala Jnana Vihara was gifted to Venerable Banagala Upatissa Thera by a wealthy couple residing in Homagama. Secretary to the Ministry of Defence and Urban Development, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, and Minister of Education, Bandula Gunawardena, were present at the occasion.
Mary Foster Robinson
was not of our nationality. She was not of our religion. But at the time, she greatly aided Anagarika Dharmapala in carrying out religious education and health activities.
අධ්‍යාපන කටයුතු කරගෙන යන්න ඒ වගේම සෞඛ්‍ය කටයුතු කරගෙන යන්න විශාල වශයෙන් ආධාර කළා. අපි මේ ස්ථානයේ උපනූපම් පරම්පරාවල අනාගත සංඝ පරපුරේ යහපත වෙනුවෙන් මම
I propose this place to the Venerable Upatissa Thera for the born and unborn generations and for the future generations of the Sangha. I wish to state now that we will take measures to make the sacred ground of Sri Lanka a center for those engaged in spreading the Dharma and for producing bhikkhus who are well versed in English and information technology and can be a great strength to this world.
අපි ඉදිරියේදී කටයුතු කරනවායි කියන ටික මම මේ අවස්ථාවේදී මතක් කරනවා.
Up next is a look at Action TV.
The construction of the Mallipota reservoir across the Kadruoya in Mallehawa, Mallipota in Bibila is currently underway. Those who were infants when the first foundation stone for this was laid are now middle-aged, and those who were infants when the second foundation stone was laid are now into their youth. When Action TV first exposed the situation on the 6th of September 2006, the only construction which had taken place here was in accordance with the laying of the second foundation stone on the 6th of November 1997. The Ministry of Irrigation spent a sum of 35 million rupees on the sluice gate of this reservoir. As of the middle of last year, 32 years since the first foundation stone was laid, construction commenced on this reservoir, but through this, 30 families who had been keeping their hopes alive that the dream of their reservoir would be realized lost their livelihoods. This is because construction took place in violation of the plans first drawn up in 1978 for the construction of the reservoir, and lands on which these people relied on for generations for their livelihoods were taken over for the reservoir. This was the footage recorded by Action TV on the 6th of September 2006 of the lands that had been taken over. 50 acres of mudland and 28 acres of dry land were thus taken over for the reservoir. The people charged that the taking over of these lands took place without proper notification being made. The primary aim of the construction of the Mallipota reservoir is to provide water for farmers in villages situated below the village of Mallehawa who currently rely on rainwater for their irrigation needs. Against this backdrop, will the people of Mallehawa, who have already paid for this with the loss of 2 harvests, be left with only the right of playing water sports? Minister of Irrigation and Water Resources Management, this one is over to you.
Somalia's Olympic Committee and football heads are among 7 people killed in a bomb explosion in Mogadishu. Prime Minister Abdiweli Mohammed Ali was also present when the blast struck the newly reopened National Theatre, but he told the BBC he was unhurt. Militants from the Al-Shabaab group say they had carried out the bombing.
Good evening and welcome to Sports First. Take a look at some cricket news. England were trailing by 121 runs with 9 wickets in hand at stumps on day 2 of the second test match against Sri Lanka at the Pisara Oval in Colombo. Earlier, Sri Lanka were bundled out for 275 runs in their first innings.
Sri Lanka resumed day 2 on an overnight score of 238 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in their first innings. Vice-captain Angelo Matthews, coming back from injury, went on to score his 8th half-century in Test cricket today.
Under some pressure yesterday.
Matthews was dismissed for 57 runs. The Lankans only managed to add 37 runs to the overnight score. Graham Swan was the pick of the bowlers for England, bagging 4 wickets for 75 runs and was ably supported by James Anderson, who picked up 3 wickets for 62.
Drift and a little spin as well. And Sri Lanka's innings has come to an end. But the wicket continues to...
In reply, opener skipper Andrew Strauss and Alistair Cook got England off to a brilliant start by sharing a 122-run partnership. Tilakratne Dilshan made a vital breakthrough for the host by claiming the wicket of Andrew Strauss for 61 runs.
Cut away, fine edge, and finally Strauss goes. Brilliant catch from...
Alistair Cook remained unbeaten on 77, while Jonathan Trott was not out on 15 as England cruised to 154 runs for the loss of 1 wicket in their first innings at stumps on day 2.
Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Vice-Captain Angelo Matthews and England spinner Graham Swan expressed these views at the press conference this evening.
Yeah, we were looking at around 300 plus when we went to bat in the morning. But I thought the English bowlers bowled really well because it was not easy to bat on. The pitch was getting slower and slower, and the bowlers made it even harder for us. I mean, if we can take a couple of wickets early on, I mean, we can push them back, and the wicket is not that great to bat on. It's pretty slow, so we need to keep bowling the right areas and do the right things.
Very good day for England. To take the 4 wickets quickly and cheaply this morning was important, obviously, and probably more importantly for the overall vibe in the dressing room was the solid start on the 150 for 1. So yeah, we're delighted with how it's panned out.
With the final drawing closer, the top 2 finalists of Yes Superstar Season 2 are busy preparing to overcome the final hurdle to win the Yes Superstar title.
We visited the Stein Studios in Ratmalana this evening to catch a glimpse of the rehearsals that are underway ahead of this Saturday's grand finale of Yes Superstar Season 2.
Jude Pereira and Dulani Ramanathan, who have seen off stiff competition, are preparing tirelessly to be crowned Yes Superstar this year.
You can see shiny cars, and that's when you need me there. With you I'll always share.
Yes Superstar Season 2 began in December 2011 with over 200 applicants from diverse backgrounds and ages auditioning for a place in the competition. The top 2 finalists of Yes Superstar Season 2, who have had no vocal training prior to joining the competition, have overcome many challenges to be the last 2 standing. The final of Yes Superstar 2 will be held on the 7th of this month from 6 p.m. onwards at the Stein Studios in Ratmalana.
Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams.
And that brings to the end tonight's edition of Primetime News. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, you can log on to www.newsfirst.lk for the very latest from the web. I'm Kumarini Rajakaruna.
And I'm Shane Silva. Good night.